Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10 and support the channel at the same time. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and today Wizards of the Coast has released the full deck lists of the 4 60-card decks that you'll find within the upcoming Explorers of Ixalan box set. Now, each of these decks will feature one of the 4 Ixalan tribes, and we're going to look at complete deck lists here, full visual spoilers. And they did show us some cards from the actual product with new art. We'll be taking a close look at those amongst the other cards in the list. And since we don't have any cards that don't have new art photographed from this new product, we'll be looking at just recent printings of those cards. But we will be going through every single card in all 4 of these decks and just give you my thoughts on the product in general at the end. Now, the first thing I want to point out really quick is do not confuse this with Rivals of Ixalan. This is very confusing. Wizards really should have named this something different. But Explorers of Ixalan is a box set. Think Arch Enemy Nicol Bolas that came out a few months ago, similar to that. The retail price for this is $64.99. Should be relatively easy to find this at retail price, maybe even below, especially if you get past the holidays. These will be found in big box stores as well as LGSs, and they come with everything you see included in the picture here. So you're going to get some deck boxes, you'll have your 460 card decks. In addition to that, there's another game element where you can actually pay mana to turn those tiles you see in the middle there. And when you turn those tiles, you'll get some sort of reward for it or some sort of surprise effect or ability. So sounds interesting. We don't know what's on those tiles yet. That actually could be very interesting and maybe could be really fun. Just depends on what they do. But aside from that, you could still play this just as regular Magic decks too if you chose to. So let's get into the cards. And we're going to start off with one of the new art cards. It's actually a token, a Saproling token. And I wanted to show this to you because I think it just looks super sweet. Like the art on these cards, the new art, there's not a whole lot of cards that have new art, but the ones that do, they knocked it out of the park. And this is just a quick example of that. Funny enough, the actual cards in the 4 decks, none of them give you Saproling tokens. So my assumption is probably one or more of the tiles do. And that's why this is included here. If not, you still get a really sweet looking Saproling token. So there you go. Now, before we get into the 4 deck lists, there's one fast thing I want to point out. If you see that expansion symbol there, it looks a lot like the Ixalan one, but it's slightly different. Any card that is not an Ixalan card that we're going to see today is going to have that expansion symbol and it's going to be numbered as an Explorers of Ixalan card. However, the Ixalan cards are actually just going to look like Ixalan cards, just like they came out of a pack, so they won't be any different. Looks like they're going to have the same expansion symbol as they had in Ixalan, as well as the numbering along with that set. So, just FYI. All right, let's move into it, starting with the Vampire deck, Legion of Dusk. So what do we get here? Let's start off with the creatures. You're going to get an Anointed Deacon, so you're going to notice a lot of Ixalan cards. I'll tell you that going forward. Bishop of the Bloodstained. You're going to get 2 copies of Bloodbond Vampire. They have a little more flexibility here of vampires, so you do get this one from Battle for Zendikar. Blood Crazed Paladin, back from Ixalan. This one was a rare. Child of Night, 2 copies of that. Deathless Ancient. Dustborn Sky Marcher. Necropolis Regent. This one's interesting. It was a mythic rare in Return to Ravnica. You get 2 copies of Paladin of the Bloodstained. 2 Queen's Bay Soldiers, the Vampire Bear. 2 Sky March Bloodletter. 2 copies of Vampire Interloper. You get a Vampire Nighthawk, classic card. And 2 copies of Vampire Noble from Shadows over Innistrad. All right, this deck will give you 1 sorcery, but it's a good one. It's Day of Judgment, actually. It's pretty sweet, and it has been printed in a long time. Financially, not a huge value card, but it's worth a few dollars, so kind of a nice inclusion here. Let's look at the instance. You get a Beacon of Immortality, not bad. 2 copies of Mortify. Urge to Feed. 2 copies of Veteran's Reflexes. And a Zealous Persecution with brand new art. And they took the Ixalan vampire. So you get your Conquistador vampires here. Art looks really awesome on this card. I'm just really excited by the art, by the few cards that are new. I almost wish we saw more cards with new art because they did a really fine job with them. This one in particular is actually a very playable card. Has seen constructed play in the past too. Artifacts. I'll warn you right now, they like their prismatic lenses when it comes to color fixing. Each deck will have 2 of those. And we also get a Vanquisher's Banner. Enchantments. You're going to find Shielded by Faith. Vow of Duty. And in lands, you can get 4 copies of Tainted Field, 9 plains, and 13 swamps. Okay, so that was our vampire deck. Let's move on to Brazen Coalition, which of course is our pirate deck. We're going to start off with the creatures, and we're going to find an adaptive automaton. Well, that was surprising. Okay, that's actually a pretty nice inclusion here. Angrath's Marauders. 3 copies of Dire Fleet Hoarder. Dreamcaller Siren. 2 copies of Headstrong Brute. Marauding Looter. 2 Rigging Runners. 2 Salaramines. 2 Stormfleet Aerialists. 2 Stormfleet Pyromancers. 2 Stormfleet Spies. And 2 Wanted Scoundrels. Doesn't feel like that's a great card, especially in a multiplayer game. I don't know. That feels a little weak to me. Alright, let's move on to sorceries. Blatant Thievery. Now, we knew this card was coming because they did show us some of the cards a few weeks back. We did a video on it. But this is the first time we're seeing some of the high-res pictures of this new art. And again, another one that they did a great job with. Innocent Blood. Mass Mutiny with new art yet again. U2 Squib. So, cool art, cool flavor text. And yeah, it gives it that pirate theme, obviously. Let's look at the instance. You get a coat with Venom. Doomblade, classic card. Everything dies to it. Fiery Cannonade. Lightning Strike. And you get 2 copies of Rush of Adrenaline. Alright, artifacts. You guessed it, 2 Prismatic Lenses. Enchantments. You're going to find a Shared Animosity. That's not bad, right? Now, this card is a Morningtide rare. And back when we knew all the tribal was coming, when we knew the commander decks were going to come out, Ixalan and all that, there's a lot of excitement about tribal, and this card shot up quite a bit. It's come down a little bit because we knew this was going to be in the box set for a few weeks now, but even before that it started coming down as people were getting their copies for their commander decks and such. But it is a Morningtide rare, and it hasn't been reprinted before, so this is a really, really fine inclusion. The card's still worth about $14, $16 or so. It will probably go down, of course, when this product comes out a little more, but at the same time, really nice card to have here. Vow of Lightning. Lands. We get 4 copies of Crumbling Necropolis with brand new art again. 7 islands. 8 mountains. And 7 swamps. Okay, let's look at our Merfolk with River Heralds. We'll begin with the creature, starting with 2 air elementals. We're going old school, back to the days of Alpha Beta Unlimited. And we have Deep Root Warrior, 2 of those. 2 Jungle Barriers, again, with new art. Looks really cool. Kumina's Speaker, 2 of those. Merfolk Sovereign with new art. Now, this isn't a financially big card. I mean, you can get these for under $1. It was in Magic 2010, Magic 2011. But at the same time, this does see constructed play here and there, too. Obviously, Merfolk decks. So, it's pretty cool to get it with new art. River Sneak. Shaper Apprentice, 2 of those. 2 copies of Shapers of Nature. Soul of the Harvest. It's actually a pretty sweet card. Tempest Caller. Vine Shaper Mystic. You get 2 of those. Waker of the Wilds. Water Trap Weaver. And let's look at some sorceries. You have Ether Gal. Concentrate. 2 copies of Prey Upon with brand new art. This may be my favorite piece of art from this product. Merfolk versus Dinosaur is right there on the card. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So you're going to get 2 in this deck. There's actually another copy coming up in the next deck too. You get a copy of Time Warp. That's actually pretty sweet too. Another card that has seen modern play. And Time Warp is not a cheap card either. These will run you about $15 to $20 depending on the kind you get, the version you get. So it's actually a really nice inclusion here too. Instance. You're going to find a Giant Growth, going old school again. And 2 Unsummons. Artifacts. 2 Prismatic Lenses, of course. Enchantments. 2 Rancors, always nice to have. And a Threads of Disloyalty, another interesting card. This actually used to see quite a bit of modern play a few years back. Not as much anymore, but the card's still worth about $5, $6. We recently saw a Masterpiece version of this, but it's nice to get a reprint that's just a normal Magic card. Vow of Flight. And for lands, we're going to have 2 Unknown Shores, 12 Forests, and 12 Islands. Okay, let's move on to our last deck, and it is the Dinosaur deck, Sun Empire. Let's start off with the creatures, and as you can imagine, you're going to see a lot of Ixalan creatures here. There weren't a whole lot of dinosaurs to choose from in the old days. You get an Ancient Brontodon. You get a Bellowing Aegisaur. You get 2 Borderland Rangers. That's actually pretty cool. You get a Burning Sun's Avatar. Feels like they're trying to give this card away everywhere, right? You get another one here. Charging Monstrosaur. 2 Drover of the Mighty. Frenzied Raptor. 2 Imperial Aerosaur, 2 Nest Robbers, Raging Swordtooth, 2 Raptor Companion, a Raptor Hatchling, Ravenous Daggertooth, Regisaur Alpha, Thundering Spineback. Alright, let's get into sorceries. You're going to find yourself a Disaster Radius, Hunter's Prowess. Here's another copy of Prey Upon with that brand new art. Savage Stomp. Alright, let's move on to Instants with Dinosaur Stampede. What's on top of the deck? It's Lightning Helix. And you get a Path to Exile. That's not bad. It's still a $7 card, even though it was in Modern Masters 2017. Sheltering Light, 2 copies of that. Artifacts. I bet you can't guess what it is. It's 2 copies of Prismatic Lens. And you also get a Quicksilver Amulet, though. That's pretty nice. Another card that's about $7, $8. It's been a while since it's been printed. Obviously, last time was Magic 2012. Enchantments. Aggravated Assault. This is another really nice inclusion. These will run you usually around $15, $16, $17, something like that. They did have a Masterpiece of this recently. This is the first time it's being printed with the new card frame now, so it's actually pretty cool. Vow of Wildness. Now let's move on to lands. You're going to get 4 copies of Jungle Shrine with brand new art. 9 copies of Forest. 7 of Mountain. And finally 6 of Plains. Okay, so we saw the deck list. My question is, who is this product for? And I'll tell you first who it's not for. It's not for competitive players, right? You probably already have these cards if you're a competitive player, or if you need like a Time Warp, you probably need like 4 of them, and then you just might as well buy singles. In the long run, you're going to save money doing that, right? This product isn't for you then. This product maybe is for some Commander players or Cube players, but I'll say this. If you like the cards in here, I probably would just buy the singles you want, unless you're really interested in the actual game. If you're a Commander or Cube player who thinks, you know what, I'll get this, maybe play it over the holidays with friends and family, and then break it down for parts after, well, okay, then you might get your money's worth here, for sure, because you're actually partaking in the game itself. I think this product, though, really is fantastic for casual players who maybe lapsed a little bit. Let's say I play Magic casually here and there. I have friends that used to play, but they don't play anymore. They sold their cards. They don't have decks. And we just want to play Magic and just have a hassle-free kind of hour or two, right? Well, I just have this in my closet. I pull it out like on game night, and we just sit around, just play a fun casual game of Magic, talk about the old times, right? Like, I feel like that's the best target for this particular product, like those type of people. I think it's also good too if maybe you're an experienced player and you want to teach other people, maybe in your friend group or your family, to play Magic. Now, they miss out on the whole deck construction piece, like if you're playing sealed or something like that, but this is a simple, very non-intimidating way to bring Magic in. And I don't know if the tiles will overcomplicate things, especially at the beginning. They probably would, so I might just play with the decks if that's the case. But if you have, again, like brother, sister, or friends that want to learn the game, then this might make sense again for you. I do think price point wise, $64.99 is a fair price for what you're getting here. I do think they did include some high value cards, which was nice. And then of course you also get the game element. So I do think it is worth the price. I think the value's there. But again, it's only there if you're going to play the game, I think. If not, just buy the singles, right? Wait for this to come out. Prices will drop a little more. Just buy the singles you want. Now, if you really, really like the new art, maybe that's a better reason to pick up this product. But again, if you just wait a few weeks, a lot of these cards with the new art will be on the secondary market, and I don't think they'll be all that expensive either. You can pick up the ones you want, right? So, Yeah, I think it's a cool product. I do think it's for a very targeted group of people, though. And you will find this at LGSs as well as big box stores. So putting something like this in big box stores is really a way to get those casual people on board, and maybe people that want to learn Magic. They see a board game style Magic game and they feel a little more comfortable picking that up as opposed to booster packs. If you're new to Magic and you're not sure what to buy, this feels real simple, right? You just see this sitting on the shelf like in the game aisle next to Monopoly, and you figure, oh, I want to learn Magic and this will help me do that. Yeah, it's going to be good for those people. So hope that helps a little bit as far as the actual product, what's included, the deck lists themselves, and all of that. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts on everything here. Now, quickly before we go, if you made it to the end, just a real fast reminder, if you check out the description below, you're going to find a few ways to help support the channel, one of which is Patreon. You'll also find some Amazon product links. If you make any purchases on Amazon, once you go through our links, we'll get a small percentage, no matter what that is. And then also, of course, Flipside Gaming, you heard that at the top of the show, but they still have a promo code for our viewers. A lot of stuff there. Save yourself some money and check them out. But until next time, hey, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.